ladies. And if we could slide over this way a little bit. Okay. All right, we got you both, yes? Okay. All right, Dr. Coley, yourself. Well, you can ask questions.
She knows more.
Okay, go ahead. You go do your own interview.
Yes.
Okay.
Tell us a little bit about Philip Simmons.
Well, what I know about Mr. Philip Simmons, I know him as a neighbor. That's one of the things that stands out. When I moved around here 25 years ago, he was just a kind, gentle man. I enjoyed always talking to him. Whatever you talked about, one of the things I never heard him say anything negative about anybody. I don't care what the subject matter was. He was a great listener. And he was just the examples he showed to the children in the community, the respect, his kindness. He was a gentleman and a gentle man, never raised his voice.
Do you think that contributed to his creativity?
I would think. What do you say, Roxy?
One has to do with the other. One's the human person, and then the creativity was a combination of it.
Yeah, I think so. I agree with that. But the reason why I asked the question is because when you clear out all the negativity, all the judgment, you can focus in on the things that are important to you. Philip Simmons could have concentrated on his skill.
But he tried to keep the stress.
So how did he get into ironwork?
Walking back and forth to school. He was born on Daniel Island. Daniel Island was agricultural. And so, did I hit it? Hit it. And so there were 7 farms on Daniel Island at the time he grew up. And he was born in 1912. 1920, Buste Elementary School opened.
Mm-hmm.
And so his grandmother wanted him to go to school full time because Daniel Island being agricultural, just to take kids out of school to help harvest the crops. And so if he wanted to go to school full time, she had to send him someplace else. So his brother lived in Charleston, about 4 blocks from Buste. And so they could walk back and forth.
Well, I understand that, what was supposed to be slaves back during the 1800s, a lot of the so-called slaves were like free to go out and make their own money doing ironwork around the city. They
did in order to earn money when they bought their freedom. Mm-hmm. They became tradesmen, did what they were doing on the plantation or in the houses that they worked with.
Okay. Well, I want to ask you some question about.
You asked me a question about how did he get into ironwork?
Yes, ma'am.
And so, on his way back and forth to school, he passed several blacksmith shops. And so, one of the blacksmith shops really attracted him because this was before automobiles, horses. They were shoeing horses. They weren't doing fancy stuff. Mm-hmm. So the sounds that came out of the blacksmith shop is what attracted him into the blacksmith shop. The hammer beating on the anvil, horses whinnying, sparks flying from the forge. And so he wanted to, that was action, he said to him. So he wanted to do that, be a part of that. So he went in one day and asked the owner of the shop, which was at the corner of Calhoun and Concord. It was Simmons Blacksmith Shop. Same last name, but not related. Mm-hmm. And so he went in and asked the man for a job. And he said, "How old are you boys?" I'm 8 years old. He said, "Come back when you're 13. Down until he was 15. And 15, he worked full time.
Okay. So that was interesting. When I went to school in Charleston at Rhett. I went to Rhett. I went to Simonton. And Memminger. So I understand that feeling of walking through Charleston as a little boy, being attracted to shoe shine shops and things like that. Now I want to
shine shoes. He did that too.
really. So did my grandfather. My grandfather had a shop on Cannon Street.
Oh, okay.
Right there, almost by King Street. I used to go to as a little boy. So we share some things. Now I want to kind of transfer to the present and ask you, what is his influence on a national, local, national, international scale? How is he recognized?
He was invited to Washington in 1976 to participate in the Heritage Festival on the grounds of the Lincoln Memorial, the mall.
That was during the bicentennial.
Way before that.
1976.
Yeah, 1976. We signed the Declaration of Independence in 1776. So 1976 was a big, that was a big time for.
Yeah, but they had this every year, every other year.
Okay.
That's something they've been doing for years at the Smithsonian. And so they have people come from all over. And whatever the theme is, that's who they invite. So basically, they're traditional artists. And so he was invited in 76 to participate. And so they asked him, like you said, he'd never been out of state to demonstrate what he did. And he asked, what should I do? And they said, the same thing you're doing in Charleston. So he started sketching something.
So he did other types of art?
And he drew.
He sketched the designs.
He did his own.
We call that process work.
Well, his work was so precise.
He knew where he was going before he got started.
Sometimes.
Okay.
It's a process of getting there. So he started sketching. He had 30 days to get his act together. And so he started drawing, pitching. Sketch something, pitch. Nothing was getting to him. So the day he came to get on the plane, go to Washington, he still didn't have the idea. So he took his sketch pad and a pencil. And when he got off the plane, he had the idea.
Wow.
And it's the Star and Fish Gate that he did. And he started it on the grounds. And he brought it back here at the end. They were there for 2 weeks. And he brought it back here. And then he took it back. He was invited back in 78. So he took it back. Because he hadn't done anything between that time. And he took it back and worked some more on the grounds. And he brought it back home because he wasn't finished. And he worked on it some more. Yeah.
I want to ask you about Carlton.
Yeah, but let me finish.
I'm sorry. Let me know. You can let me know. Don't let me forget to ask about Carlton.
No, you asked the question of how you get recognized for other, you asked the question how you get recognized outside of Charleston. And so he took it. He was invited in 82 again to go back to Washington. And he took it with him again, and it was just about finished at that time. He was finishing it on the grounds. And but he was invited this time also. The National Endowment for the Arts established an award. It's called a Fellowship, Heritage Fellowship Award. And it's the highest award you can receive as a traditional artist in the country. And he was in the first group of that, maybe two. And then the Smithsonian bought the gate that he started in 76.
Wow.
And so that's part of the American History Museum at the Smithsonian. And they keep it it's not on display all the time. It's in the warehouse, and they bring it out for special occasions. And we borrowed it when we did the premiere of Keep It a Gate book. So it's the photograph exhibit we have of 35 pieces, black and white. And we opened it at Avery, and we borrowed the gate. That was also Mr. Simmons' birthday. So we had it here for 6 months. But, and so with them buying it, the Smithsonian buying it. So now the African American Museum.
I heard.
Just opened this past weekend.
Mm-hmm.
And they own a gate. They bought a gate from a woman who was selling her house here in Charleston. And I'm pulling out, but she didn't want to sell the gates with it. And so we broke it for them to buy the gate. So it's now a permanent exhibit at the American History, African American History Museum. And Carlton has a piece there also.
Carlton.
Mm-hmm.
He's quite interesting. He's almost like
He's never
going straight to the past. Oh, really?
Yes.
Well, tell me just a little bit about Carlton.
He grew up here, grew up in this house practically. Mr. Simmons didn't say no to anybody. So if family members fell on hard times, yeah. At one time there were 3 families who lived here in this house. They just took a room and stuff. He always stayed in that bedroom.
Yes.
But this was a bedroom. So there were 3 bedrooms.
Nice bedroom. It's bigger than mine.
So Carlton's been in and out since he was a kid. And so he used to share the bedroom with Mr. Simmons when he was a kid.
He made me feel as if I had transcended time and went to the past. Because I work with computers and I work with digital, things. But it's nice to see something real, feeling the heat,
Yes.
and listening to the rhythm of the ping, ping, ping.
The sound too.
Well, I think Dr. Coley, do you have any questions?
How did he deal with success?
He understood, what was happening, around it. He enjoyed it in a calmer way than some people would get carried away and get that. But, he saw the worth in what he was doing. But he always watched things.
Yes.
He missed too much. When he came to Charleston, he had to come by ferry because there were no bridges.
Mm-hmm.
And so he saw 3 bridges come up and go, 2 go down. And they invited him to go across the bridge the first time when they opened it. But when they were doing Gilliard, the house that's on the corner of Anson and Lawrence Street, it's a 3-story brick house. And they moved it from where the Gilliard's located to located. This has got to be in the early 70s. No, it's before the 70s, like 60 something. Yeah, because they did Porgy and Bess in 72, so this was probably was 60s. And he would go and watch every day as these people moved this brick house. They didn't lose a brick.
Amazing.
And so he would tell that story all the time. He would say, they didn't lose a brick. He was just amazed how they were going to do this.
We could talk all day.
We could.
We may have to come back again.
Yes.
We could talk all day.
We'll make sure that you get to see the finished product. I'm thinking about how it's going to come together, but thank you so much for the hospitality
You're quite welcome.
and the
This is part of
repellent.
part of the day.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ross.
Quite welcome.
Dr. Coley, say bye.
Bye.
Signing off. I'm videotaping.
This is Carlton Simmons, nephew of Mr. Philip Simmons.
Hey, nice to meet you.
Robert. Mary Coley.
Glad to meet you.
Carlton is going to show us a demonstration today. How he actually bends the metal and he's going to show us how to
Okay. Cool.
Yeah. Lastly, Carlton inducted in the International African American Museum. Woohoo! Yes, that's good. Okay. This piece. How long did you start the slide? It takes about 30 minutes to get a part like that?
It's not an unrestricted thing.
Okay. But he gets the fire a little hot first, you know. And then he's going to...
And what do you use for the fire?
Nearly 82 years ago, we came from Daniel Island on a boat. Many bridges have been built since then, politically, socially, and physically, all throughout the lifetime of Philip Simmons, the artist and man carved into history forever.
He's just a very humble and he's a good man. His work ethic is, if you want your prayers answered, get off your knees and hustle. And that helps me along the way. Because sometimes I find myself on my knees and I'm thinking, and whenever I get up and hustle, it all comes together. So it makes sense to me.